Okay, we're at house to half. Blackout. Tick, tock, 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 tick, tock. Drum roll. Cymbal crash.
Murder in the first degree. Premeditated homicide is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. You have heard a long and complex case, and it is now your duty to separate the facts from the fancy. One man is dead. The life of another is at stake. If there is a reasonable doubt in your minds as to the guilt of the accused, then he must be found not guilty. If, however, there is no reasonable doubt, then he must be found guilty. Whichever way you decide, the verdict must be unanimous. I urge you to deliberate honestly and thoughtfully. You are faced with a grave responsibility. Thank you.
The jury will retire. Get up and stand a chance.
You know, it's hot. I never would have done that if I hadn't told. Did you?
I suppose not.
Sorry.
You can help.
Yeah, well, okay. I kind of forgot.
I suppose not. I suppose not. I kind of forgot.
Well, I've done all day, sweat.
I bet you aren't sweating to take people to drive.
You think they'd at least air condition the place? I almost dropped dead in court. My taxes are high enough. Yeah. Should go fast anyway.
Yes. It's hot. All right, everyone's here. If there's anything you want right outside, just knock.
Do you lock that door? Oh, what do they think we are? Crooks? And then they lock that kid up forever. Well, that's okay, buddy.
I didn't know they did that.
Sure, they locked the door. What do you think?
I just didn't know. It never occurred to me. Shall we admit that it's hot and it's humid and our tempers are short?
It's been a pretty hard
I feel just fine.
I wonder what's going on down at the office. You know how it is in advertising. In 6 days, my job could be gone, and the whole company too. They aren't going to like this. We'll figure this is our duty. I don't object to doing my duty. I just mentioned that I might not have a job by the time I get back.
Hey, ask her to hire you. She's rich. Look at her suit.
It's a custom tailor. Yes, it is. I have a new custom tailor. How it is you? Not too much. You know, a friend of his, that's a friend of my uncle's. Tailor. Well, his friend was in the jury notes. The jury, not us. Why didn't you let him? I would have done anything to miss this. Did he get caught or something? Do you know what kind of a fine you think for anything like that? Anyway, his friend was in the jury notes about 10 years ago. Case just like this one. So what happened? They let him off. Reasonable doubt. And what do you know? About 8 years later, the defendant actually does. A guilty man. A murderer. Turned loose in the street.
Did they get him?
They couldn't.
Why not?
You can't hold a man in double jeopardy. Unless it's a hung jury, you can't try a man twice for the same crime. That isn't gonna happen here.
6 days. They should have finished it in 2.
Talk.
You ever hear so much talk about
knife that night.
And then he lost it.
A hole in his pocket.
A hole in his father.
Not for waiting for your father. Knife in his chest.
Oh my God, well look at the kind of people they are. You know that.
Right, you got cold?
Lulu. At least how about the Colts kill you?
I have one last year. I was on vacation too. Alright, everyone let's take these. Right. Just go quick anyway. I got tickets to Phantom for the Opera for tonight, huh? Still the only guy in the world who hasn't seen it. Okay, Your Honor. Start the show. How about sitting down? Gentlemen on the window, how about you sit down?
It's tough to figure, isn't it? A kid kills his father. Bing! Just like that. Maybe it's the elementary thing. Let the kids run wild. Maybe it serves them right.
There are better proofs than some emotion you might have. Perhaps a dislike for some group.
Oh, we all agree that it was hot.
And that our tempers are short.
Well, that's if we disagree. This is always shut, so let's get it done.
Now you people can handle this whatever way you want. What I mean is that I'm not going to make any rules.
And that's why we do it.
If we want to discuss and then vote, that's fine. Or we can vote now and see where we stand.
Let's vote now. Who knows? Maybe we can all go home, huh?
Okay. Anyone not want to vote?
That was easy.
Okay. All those voting for guilty, raise your hands. 11 for guilty. Not guilty?
You're in left field.
Okay. 11 to 1. 11 votes guilty, 1 vote not guilty. Now you know where we stand.
Do you really believe he's not guilty?
Oh, but after 6 days, he doesn't know.
In 6 days, I could learn calculus. This is ABC.
I don't believe that it is as simple as A.
I never saw a guiltier man in my life.
What does a guilty man look like? He is not guilty until we say he is guilty. Are we to vote on his face?
You said it, Gordon, the same things I did. The man's a dangerous killer. You can see it.
Where do you look to see if a man is a killer?
Oh.
No, tell me what the facial characteristics of the killer are. I'd like to know. He's not guilty until you say he is.
Look, what is there about the case that makes you think the boy's innocent?
He's 19 years old.
That's old enough. He stabbed his own father 4 inches into the chest. Little innocent 19-year-old.
Look, I agree with you that the boy's guilty, but I think we should try to avoid emotionally colored arguments.
So, all right, they've proved it a dozen different ways. You want me to list them?
Now, well, do you believe the stupid story he told?
Now.
Hey, do you believe the kid's story?
Don't know whether I believe it or not. Maybe I don't.
So what you vote not guilty for?
There were 11 votes for guilty. It's not so easy for me to raise my hand and send a boy off to die without talking about it first.
Who says it's easy for me? Or me.
No.
He still thinks he's guilty whether it was an easy vote or a hard vote.
Is there something wrong because I voted fast?
Not necessarily.
I think the kid's guilty, all right? You couldn't change my mind if you talked for 100 years.
I don't want to change your mind.
Just what are you thinking of?
I want to talk for a while. Look, this boy's been kicked around all his life, you know? Living in a slum. His mother dead since he was 9. That's not a very good head start. He's a tough, angry kid. You know why slum kids get that way? Because we knock them over the head once a day, every day. I think, maybe, we owe him a few words. That's all.
All right. Sure, it's hard. It was hard for me. Everything I got, I fought for. I worked my way through college. Now, that was a long time ago, and perhaps you do forget. I fought, yeah, but I never killed.
I know what it's like. I never killed nobody.
I get kicked around too. Just wait till you work in an ad agency and the big boy that buys the art prize walks in. We all know.
In my company, you are kicking was a science. I was trying to find some references.
Look, mister, I don't mind telling you this. We don't owe the kid a thing. We got a fair trial. You know how much that trial cost? He's lucky he got it. Look, we're all adults here. Grown-ups here. You're not supposed to tell us. We're supposed to believe him, know what he is. I've lived among my whole life. You can't trust a word they say. You guys know that.
I don't know that. What a terrible thing for a man to believe. Since when was dishonesty a group characteristic? You have no monopoly on the truth.
All right, sit down. This isn't Sunday. We don't need a sermon.
What this man says is very dangerous.
I don't see any need for arguing like this. All right, I think we all ought to behave like adults.
Right.
All right, if you insist.
Thank you. If we're going to discuss this case, why, let's discuss the facts.
I think that's a good idea. Your job to do? Let's do it.
If you don't mind, we'll close the doors.
I'd like to have the window open, if you don't mind.
Pick one.
Don't you want a little air? It's summer, it's hot.
I was very uncomfortable.
There are 12 of us in this room. It's the only window, if you don't mind.
I have some rights too.
So do the rest of us.
Can you trade chairs with someone at the other end of the table?
Right. Someone is willing to trade seats with me.
Shall you pass the case?
Yeah, let's.
I may have an idea here. I'm just thinking out loud now, but it seems to me that it's up to us. Because this gentleman, that we're right and he's wrong. Maybe if we each talk for a minute or two, try it on for test. Sounds fair enough.
Very fair.
Suppose we go lunch on the table?
Okay, start it off.
Start with you.
Oh, well, I just think he's guilty. I thought it was obvious.
In what way was it obvious?
I mean, nobody proved otherwise.
Nobody has to prove otherwise. Innocent until proven guilty. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. The defendant doesn't have to open his mouth. It's in the Constitution. The Fifth Amendment. You've heard of it.
Everyone has.
Well, sure, I've heard of it. I know what it is. What I meant was, well, anyway, I just think he's guilty.
No, he's just guilty.
Okay,
There's a life at stake here.
let's get to the facts. Number one. Let's take the old man who lived in the downstairs apartment right underneath the room where the murder took place. At 10 minutes past 12, you said you heard loud noises coming from the upstairs apartment. You said it sounded like a fight. So then he hears the kid say to his father, "I'm gonna kill you." A second later, there's a body falling. So he runs to the door of his apartment and looks out and sees the kid running down the stairs and out of the house. Then he calls the police. They found the father with a knife in his chest.
And the coroner fixed time investigator
Right,
already.
now what else do you want?
Doesn't seem to fit.
The boy's whole story is flimsy. He said he was at the movies. Seems a little ridiculous, doesn't it? He couldn't remember what picture he saw.
He didn't have any ticket stub. He didn't have any ticket stub.
Who keeps the ticket stub at the movies?
That's true enough.
I suppose, but the cashier didn't remember.
And the ticket taker didn't either.
Well, what about that woman next door? If her testimony don't prove it, nothing does.
That's right, she saw the film, didn't she?
Let's go in order, please.
Just a minute. Here's a woman who's lying in bed. Can't sleep, it's hot. Next moment, she wakes up, she goes out the window, and she sees the kid stick the knife into his father.
How can she really be sure it was the kid when she saw through the windows of a passing elevator?
She's known the kid all his life. She knows his window is directly across from hers, across the L tracks, and she swore she saw him do it.
I heard her swear to it.
Okay, and you know that you can see across the window from a moving L track. You know, L train. They proved it.
Weren't you telling us just a minute or two ago that you can't trust them? That you can't believe them?
So?
Then I'd like to ask you something. How come you believe her? She's one of them too, isn't she?
Take it easy.
Oh, come on now, sit down. What are you letting him get you all upset for?
Relax.
Excuse me. They did take us to the woman's room and we looked out the window across the L track, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And weren't you able to see what happened on the other side?
I didn't see as well as they told me I would see, but I did see what happened on the other side.
You see?
Calm down now. I'll pass it. It's your question. Try you.
I don't know. I started to be convinced, with the testimony from those people across the hall. Didn't they say something about an argument between the father and the boy around 7 o'clock that night? I mean, I can be wrong.
I think it was 8.
That's right. 8 o'clock.
They heard the father hit the boy twice and then saw the boy walk angrily out of the house.
What does that prove?
Well, it doesn't exactly prove anything. It's just part of the picture. I didn't say it proved anything.
Anything else?
No.
I don't know. Most of it's been said already. I mean, we can talk all day about this thing, but I think we're wasting our time.
I don't.
Neither do I. Go on.
Look at the kid's record, right? He's been... Fun.
He stole a car. He's been arrested for mugging.
He stole a car. He's been arrested for knife fighting. I think they said he stabbed somebody in the arm. At 15, he was in reform school.
And they sent him to reform school for stabbing someone.
This is a very fine boy.
Ever since he was 5 years old, his father beat him up regularly. He used his fist.
So would I on a kid
No,
like
you're
that.
right. You're right. It's the kids. The way they are. I got a kid. 8 years old, he ran away from a fight. I tell you, I was embarrassed. I told him right out, I'm gonna make a man out of you, or I'm gonna bust you up in a little pieces, try. He was 15. He hit me right in the face. He's big, Rough. I hate tough kids. Work your heart out. All right, well, let's come on, get on.
We're missing the point here. Let's say this kid is a product of a filthy neighborhood and a broken home. We can't help them. We're not here to discuss the reasons why slums are breeding grounds for criminals. They are. I know it. So do all of you. Kids with slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society.
You said it right there. I don't want any part of them. Believe me.
I've lived in a slum all my life.
Now wait a second.
I played in a backyard that was filled with garbage. Maybe it still smells on me.
Now let's be reasonable. There's nothing personal.
There is something personal.
Oh, come on, hon. We didn't mean you. Let's not be so sensitive.
Who did you mean?
I can understand this sensitivity.
No, let's stop. We're wasting time. It's your turn.
All right. I had a peculiar feeling about this trial. Somehow I felt that the defense counsel never really conducted a thorough cross-examination. Too many questions were left unasked.
Though it doesn't change my opinion about the guilt of the boy, I do agree with you. The defense counsel was bad.
So,
This is a point.
what about facts?
So many questions were never answered.
All right, what about the questions that were answered? For instance, let's take that cute little switch knife, the one that fine, upright kid admitted fine.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's get it in here and look at it. Madam Foreman, I'd like to see it.
This is
Okay,
right.
stop. Hold, that's where we stop, right? All right, we have to reset the room. Let's do that. Let's clean up, put everything away, and let's meet back in there. We'll give you some things to think about before tomorrow. Yeah?